Hello everyone and welcome or welcome back. I'm Jennifer from Joy of Stationery, and for today's video I wanted to follow up a little bit on my last video where I did an unboxing of the Superior Labor Petite Tote, and that was in the black colorway. But I wanted to share a little bit about what I've thought about the Petite Tote size from the Superior Labor. I mentioned, I think at the time, that I do have one more in this size, and this is the one you see before you now. Let me see if I can kind of show you what that looks like kind of from the side here. So this one is one that has a painted bottom on the canvas, and this colorway is called Cactus Pear, I believe, and this one was from Baum-Kuchen, and I had gotten it a couple of years ago. I think this came out in 2022, this particular colorway that they had announced, and yeah, I think so. So sometimes, at least for some of the earlier ones, this little brass tag that you see here has 22SS, which I believe stands for maybe spring and summer. So this came from the 2022 spring and summer line from the Superior Labor, or I believe that means that that's when this was produced. So I've had this for a couple of years now, and I fell in love with the size of it when I first saw it and when I first got it. And I am somebody who's quite a petite person, so I do love smaller things. And at the same time, even though this is called the Petite Tote, and so it's this petite size of what I think is the original kind of engineer bag from the Superior Labor, it actually fits a surprising amount. And so I just wanted to show a little bit of that to you. So first of all, I guess just from the outside here, as I mentioned, this is the Cactus Pear colorway, which means that I believe this is kind of a khaki colored canvas with this sort of pink paint down below. And it has these natural leather sort of accents that that have patinaed quite a bit here. You can kind of see here, and the handles as well. I unfortunately have this pen mark on it, which I tried to get off, but wasn't happening. I'm not even sure exactly how it happened, but you know what, that's okay. It just shows that this has been well loved, and I hope to kind of continue to love it and use it. You can see that this is a little tag, and so the Superior Labor items, particularly these bags, come with a little bit of a leather tag that they include. So this one here was one that was a little bit different from other ones I had seen in the past, and this is for the Superior Labor 15th anniversary. So I believe that 2022 was their 15th anniversary, their 15-year anniversary, and so this was the tag that came with this particular bag at the time. And so I do like to kind of hang it on the handle like this, which I think that I've seen others do that as well. What I've also included here is this really pretty little enamel pin by Neko Sakaya, which is a stationery store in New York. And I think this is a pin that they had come out with as a kind of exclusive, and I thought this looked really beautiful. It looks like there's kind of a bird or a swallow who is holding a fountain pen and some little floral decoration, but I just thought this was a really sweet pin and thought it actually matched the particular kind of colorway of this Petite Tote really well. Let me also just show you the other side, and this is the side, oh my, there's also some cat hair and things, but this side has the stamp on it from the Superior Labor, and you can also sort of see where the inside pocket has been sewn in, so looks really nice. And because I've had this for a couple of years now, the handles themselves, the natural leather handles, as you can see here, have patinaed quite a bit, but have also become quite soft. And I'm kind of noticing that, especially compared to the new one that I got. So because this has undergone more use, the leather has definitely softened up, which is nice. Recently, I got the opportunity to go to a cafe to do some work for the first time in a really long time. So prior to the pandemic, I used to be someone who really enjoyed going to cafes and doing some work at a cafe, particularly as an academic, so during graduate school, and once I got my first job as an academic as well. And this was also because it was before the pandemic, before I knew about all of these wonderful stationery brands like Hobonichi, as well as kind of stationery adjacent wonderful items and brands like the Superior Labor. So this was kind of an exciting way for me to think about what bringing kind of a cafe setup would be, alongside, of course, also being safe. But now what I had was this Superior Labor Petite Tote, and I thought that it would be a perfect way to contain some of my planner and journal necessities that I could have with me when I go to a cafe and do some work, as well as do some journaling, kind of alongside the work as well. So the way that I need to transport some things around has changed a little bit because of my illness. And so because of the physical toll that things can take now on a much kind of more intensive level for me, with my longer term illness, I've had to switch around my usual, what I would usually use in terms of bags to bring around my work or other kinds of supplies if I have a lot of them. And so for me as an academic, that has often meant, laptop, multiple books, as well as, notebooks and notes and planners and what have you. So all of the other kinds of stationery things. And again, because of the way that weight takes much of a more physical toll on me, now that I've been sick for a long time, I have needed most often to use a backpack in that particular instance, just kind of for ergonomic reasons and to be able to help with my balance due to my illness as well. But what I did find was that this particular Petite Tote fits absolutely perfectly at the bottom of my backpack. So the backpack that I use isn't necessarily a really amazing sort of fancy one, but it is, a cute one. It's a donut backpack from the Donut brand, which I believe is a Korean brand, and they have a lot of really cute ones, but there's a good amount of room in it, as well as kind of a pocket in the back or a sleeve for a laptop. And so the rest of the kind of main pocket, and this is something I might show at some point later on as well, this fits perfectly right in there. And so it was just a really lovely way to be able to kind of fit a number of maybe work-related equipment or items that I might need, but also be able to kind of carry a tote of all of my stationery essentials right in the backpack as well, and to be able to kind of take this out of the backpack and have it all be kept together as well. So because I was finally able to go to a cafe to try to do some work and some writing for the first time, this was really exciting to kind of put together and to kind of think about what I would need as a kind of to-go stationery and planner and journal essentials that I might need or want to have with me when I go someplace to do work. Now, I did mention that I had just gotten the black version of the Petite Tote, and that's going to be much more kind of work and professional specific, and so I'll be doing a separate video on that, but this was kind of a nice kind of trial run as I just kind of went a little bit more informally to a cafe to do some work, and gave me a chance to kind of come up with a little, Petite Tote setup, if you will, that I can bring with me for these more kind of informal or casual little adventures, little trips. So let me show you what I brought. So here, hopefully you can kind of see what's in here, give you a little bit of a bird's eye view, we've got a pocket here, as I kind of mentioned, in the interior. I don't have anything in it right now, but I was able to, for example, just stick my phone in there, and it was just a really perfect kind of touch to it. And there is also, I forgot to kind of maybe point it out, a pocket on the outside as well, and this is in the leather as well, the natural leather. So I was able to kind of stick my phone in the back pocket inside there, and otherwise you can see that there are a number of things that fit in here. So I'll take some of them out, perhaps one by one. So first, let me just show you maybe by size. I have my passport traveler's notebook, and I actually got this new, absolutely adorable little golden coffee bean charm, so I've been putting it together like this, and it's just it's been giving me a lot of joy. I really love this, and this was from Miso Paper in the United Kingdom. And when I have it in the bag, I've been moving the charms to the side just so that it doesn't scratch up the cover, you know, quite as much. But basically this setup I've now actually converted into a kind of wallet setup for this particular Petite Tote on-the-go cafe setup, if you will. And maybe I'll go through the details of some of that a little bit later. I also have here an A6 notebook and setup, and here I decided to use the Superior Labor and Baum-Kuchen collaboration, and this is the Sumi colorway. It's the kind of black colorway, the canvas and the leather, as well as this paint here that Baum-Kuchen has. And I wanted to kind of try this out because this might be an A6 cover that would go well with the black Petite Tote as well, once I kind of get that work setup going and figured out. And then I actually have, yeah, I guess I'll share this one first. I've been able to fit a number of little supplies in this very cute corduroy, technically, I believe sold as a makeup pouch, but it can be used for so many other kinds of things. And so I've been using it for stationery, and it has been so lovely. So this is by Kai and Joe, I want to say is maybe how to pronounce the brand, and they make these really lovely corduroy makeup pouches like this, and it has a nice sort of flat bottom so that you can kind of rest it. And there are a number of things that I keep in here that I'll be able to perhaps go over as well. And then finally, I have my traveler's notebook in the standard size, and this is what is housing currently, and I've I've changed this up again, but my Hobonichi Weeks in the tiny dragons design here. So as you can see, all of this can actually fit really well in the Petite Tote, and it holds it all very securely. And so it's just been so satisfying to kind of have this all together and just be able to kind of lift this out of the backpack onto a table and to have it all ready to go like this. So I wanted to give just a quick little recap of what I was able to fit into the Petite Tote. Again, this is the Cactus Pear colorway from Baum-Kuchen. And so I was able to fit a standard size traveler's notebook, a passport size traveler's notebook, an A6 notebook, as well as a pouch full of kind of stationery items. And I'll do a separate video perhaps on this and what I was able to kind of fit in this, but just to kind of quickly show you, it's, you know, it's filled pretty full of things, but there's still plenty of room to add some more things. And so I've been finding this to be a really kind of wonderfully spacious, you know, almost Mary Poppins bag-esque pouch that can fit a lot more in it. and is actually quite spacious for its compact size, much like the Petite Tote is. So I hope that this was helpful just in terms of getting a sense of the Petite Tote and what all it can fit. Maybe I'll just quickly put these all back in once again, just to sort of show you. And there you have it. And there's still some room actually if you wanted to put some other things in there. Of course, something in the pocket here, the pocket on the outside as well. But I hope that this was helpful just to see. I will be doing an update also on the new Petite Tote that I got, which is in the black, and that will hold more kind of work professional type things. And I'll hopefully do another kind of more in-depth rundown of what's kind of in the actual contents inside the Petite Tote as well. So I hope that was helpful or enjoyable. I hope that you all are doing well, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.